Good morning, fellow traders. This is Doug Campbell with Right Way Options, coming to you with a morning market preparation video for April 10th, 2018. Well, what an amazing turn of events yesterday. We had the bulls pushing to the upside, and then toward the end of the day, those bears came back with a vengeance, taking the market almost all the way back down, only closing us up on the Dow by 60. Let's go there. Only closing the Dow up by 46 points. So we were able to hold on to a positive print, but boy, it sure looked ugly. Now, that was ahead of a speech from the Chinese leader, where we had kind of a dramatic change of attitude, it seems, from China, almost a conciliatory type speech, suggesting that they now want to seek fairness in trade, protection of intellectual properties, all the kind of things that the president has been touching on lately. This would be a dramatic change in policy. And if these words actually translate into a fair trade agreement, this could be substantial in trade deficits and things like that. It could dramatically change the outlook of U.S. economy here for a period of time, with big number changes in some of the economic numbers. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Obviously, this is not going to be a quick or easy process. It's likely going to take some time. There's probably also going to be some slings and arrows fired back and forth during that process, so be really careful. Now, as of right this second, Dow futures are indicated up 300 points, a big reversal overnight. So we had an ugly whipsaw yesterday, a big reversal overnight. So this volatility is still pretty dramatic. Now, one thing that could occur today with this lightening of this load on this so-called trade war is we could actually trigger a short squeeze. All of those folks that are short are going to be trapped in those short positions this morning with this big gap up. And if the bulls continue to push toward the upside, it could trigger that short squeeze, forcing those shorts to buy to cover, and again pushing the market higher as a result. So could be kind of interesting as we move through the day. Now, also, you want to be really, really careful about chasing a big pop like this. Chase a big pop, and then we get that quick sell-off that can happen. And we know it's just one poorly worded phrase or tweet that could really send the market reeling here. So be careful. Make sure to size your trades properly and understand the risk of every trade that you plan to get into. However, I gotta say this is very relieving for the market and could easily make for some good trading as we head toward earnings and the earnings kickoff here this Friday, with several big banks reporting their earnings. Let's take a look here. We're still in a downtrend. Clearly, we're still in a downtrend on the diamonds. This pop-up here could help us a ton. Remember, we have plenty of resistance above to deal with. So we're going to have to, honestly, we've got to get, we need to get out of this downtrend. We need to get out of this downtrend and then recover that 25,000 level, which may be a challenge. You can see we've had a struggle here around 25,000, but the possibility is there, and we could see a big move today if a short squeeze does get triggered. Take a look at the SPY. Now, you could draw this trend line differently. You could easily draw this trend line up here. For now, I'm going to leave this trend line right here. And this move up will be really significant, and we need to really get out of this area. You can see we have a bit of a range between here and here that we need to break through. If we can break above that little downtrend, break above that resistance range right there, we have an opportunity to move this market higher, and that would be a really positive sign ahead of earnings, in my opinion. Holding that 200-day moving average, moving that on up, and maybe working to attack that 50-day moving average, which is right up in that range. Okay. Let's take a look at the Qs. Now, the Qs have been one of the stronger indexes, but they've certainly been under attack. And that attack may continue, or could continue today, with Mark Zuckerberg being, in front of Congress today, testifying on 2 different occasions about their major data problem that they have. We can expect a lot of drama around that, as Congress is likely going to step into that arena and probably issue way more regulation than necessary and government oversight, which could dramatically affect not only Facebook, but other tech companies that are data heavy like that. So kind of keep an eye on that. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out today, and how Zuckerberg handles those questions, which the company has largely just ignored any negative thing said about them, and moved on. It'll be interesting now that he's being forced into this position, how that gets handled. So kind of keep an eye on that. We could see that Facebook stock get pushed around pretty dramatically today on those comments. So watch that closely. And obviously, Facebook could have a major impact on the Qs depending on how it trades. I'm not going to predict it moves up or down. Just simply, it could gyrate around quite a bit, so keep that in mind, and that may affect the Qs here as well. Now, the Qs, if they can rally up here and break back above this resistance level, that would be stellar, and a great thing that could happen. Back above that 50-day moving average, or right in that area, would be wonderful as we head toward earnings. IWM also, same situation, pushed back down yesterday, popping up dramatically this morning. This needs to hold above this little support level right here. That would be a nice recovery for IWM to get up there and hold above that, and then any push toward this resistance level, we could see some big moves here today. So watch that closely. Let's take a quick look at the VIX. The VIX yesterday holding up above that 50-day moving average and holding above this major support level on that sell-off yesterday. So not a good situation overall here in the VIX at the moment, but this big move today could certainly change that, and we'll have to watch this closely. Hopefully, we're going to see some calmer days ahead as some of this volatility maybe finally spills out, if market jitters actually do subside on this so-called trade war. Let's take a look at T21. 22 T21-22, the 4-week new high new low ratio. You can see this thing has been it looks like it almost looks like one of those machines that's recording an earthquake tremor, because of the way it's spiking in both directions. But this morning, expect this to spike way back up here again. We could actually reach an overbought area really fast today, in that place where we could see that bearish reversal come into play. Hopefully, we'll start to calm down after this big move today, and it would be really nice to just have some consolidation or rest, so that we can just settle some of this volatility out of the market and get back to some better trading. Some trading with some edge. That would be really nice, right? So kind of keep an eye on that. Expect a big move in this today. with that, let's take a quick look at the economic calendar. We only have one thing on the economic calendar that's really expected to move the market today. That's PPI. Now, PPI, they were kind of expecting could have some of the first impacts of this so-called tariff war. But right now, they're expecting PPI to come in positive, and there's a rather large range in the estimates from a 0.1% increase to a 0.4% increase. So rather large potential move. So kind of keep an eye on that today. That could move the market around a little bit on that number, depending on how it comes in. After that, we just have some, a couple outside reports that aren't expected to move the market, a couple bond auctions, and a Fed speaker at 6:30. So nothing major there. Remember, Wednesday is the FOMC minutes, and we could see the market do a little bit of dancing around and waiting for that to happen, to come out. And that could also bring a little more volatility into the market tomorrow. So watch that closely. The big move today could really get those bulls fired up. We'll have to see. So watch that, and be careful how you trade it. It could be very, very fast price action. Lots of intraday whip with all the emotion that's going to be in this morning's move. On the earnings calendar, we only have like 15, 16, 17 companies reporting earnings today. Nothing much going on there. I wouldn't expect any of those to be market moving today. Just keep in mind that we're going to be kicking off earnings. Friday, we have 3 of the major banks reporting. Actually 4 of the major banks reporting, and that's going to be kind of considered the official kickoff to earnings. We still have a little ways to go before we really hit the big numbers on those on earnings, but kind of a soft launch, I should say, to second quarter earnings coming this Friday. Everyone, I want to wish you a fantastic day. And if this is the first time you've seen this video, please do me a favor. Click that subscribe button on YouTube and the follow me button on Facebook. Click those thumbs up buttons. I really appreciate that a lot if you feel the video is worthy. And also, please feel free to share this video with any other friends or family that you may feel could benefit from this market preparation. Everyone, take care. Have an awesome, awesome day. I wish you great profits. We'll talk to you all very, very soon, bright and early Wednesday morning. Take care.